It started like a parade, a 44-point eruption against the Sparks with a shooting line so clean it looked unreal, over 80% from the field. A wave of takes followed. She's smoother, more efficient, more ready than Caitlyn Clark ever was. A stat popped up everywhere, fastest to 200 points and 50 assists, one game quicker than Clark. The hype machine purred. Cameras waited for the next masterpiece. Seattle rolled out something else. Traps, bodies, contact. A plan announced before tip. Make it physical, take away comfort, show her the kind of Caitlyn Clark treatment that's become a weekly storm in this league. Coach Noelle Quinn laid it out. Stay in her space, show multiple bodies, make the ball screen feel like a dead end, rotate like a net. Then the Storm executed it with cold precision. The box score told the blunt truth. 11 points. 2 for 11. From the field. 0 assists, 2 rebounds. Not 11 and a quarter, not 11 by the half. 11 across 40 minutes that felt like a clinic in pressure. That wasn't a stumble. It was a reveal. The kind that lives on film becomes a scouting report and follows a player for months. This, finally, looked familiar. Not to Paige, but to anyone who has watched what Caitlyn Clark has waded through. Since her first WNBA possession. Clark didn't dip a toe into this water. She was thrown into it. She drew contact that turned possessions into collisions. She carried the weight of national TV slates and sold-out arenas while absorbing what the league allowed. Targeting that turned into numbers. The receipts were brutal. 17% of the league's flagrant fouls in 2024 committed against her. One franchise made it a habit. Chicago accounted for most of them. And still Clark played through it, made something out of the static and dragged a franchise out of the basement. That's the context the hype left out when it put Paige on a pedestal for efficiency. Paige's pretty numbers arrived in airspace. Soft contests, one-on-one pockets, clean mid-range touches. In Los Angeles, she danced. In Seattle, the floor changed. Blitzes came high and early. Doubles arrived like clockwork. Passing windows shrank into nothing. On the first night she got guarded like Clark, the efficiency evaporated. 2 makes on 11 shots. No table setting. No counters that stuck. A mirage dissolving the second it was touched. Quinn's blueprint was the kind, you build for a star. The primary and the backline worked as one. Slim stayed attached. The team showed layers, rotations arrived on time, rebounding finished the job. There were no second-chance gut punches to undo the stops. The plan wasn't one hero defender. It was a synchronized denial of comfort zones. The mid-post felt crowded. The free-throw line touch became a trap. The first dribble met a second body, and when Bueckers gave it up, she didn't get it back. Possession drifted away from her. So did the game. This isn't a referendum on talent. Paige Bueckers can score. That mid-range from the stripe down, the footwork, the balance, that's real. But this was the first time a defense showed up to erase her first read and force her second, and the gap between hype and hardness yawned. The comparison that had been force-fed for months, Bueckers as the polished, poised upgrade to Clark, suddenly looked flimsy. Clark takes threes from 28 feet with a body leaning into her hip and a forearm across her release. She drives through hands and foreheads and still finds corners for shooters. She creates assists out of chaos. The league has been set to break her. It hasn't worked. The numbers everyone loves to post need context. Clark's rookie line sat at 19 points, 8.4 assists, 5.7 boards, while wearing the bullseye every night. Bueckers' rookie averages, 19.7 points, 5.3 assists, 4.1 boards, were framed as proof she'd already passed the test. But numbers without weight don't tell the truth. Clark's volume was forged through traps, hard hedges, and fouls that didn't always draw a whistle. Paige's came while being allowed to breathe. One night under Clark's weather system, and Paige's rhythm vanished. That's what a blueprint does. It travels. Dallas drafted her first overall. They gave her the keys, the usage, the runway. The Wings finished 928, no playoffs, no surge. Meanwhile in Indiana, Clark's impact stretched far beyond a box score. A franchise that had been buried woke up. Attendance records fell, TV windows followed, Merchandise exploded. The league rode the wave because Clark created it. That's not narrative, that's reality. Which is why August 22, 2025 shouldn't be remembered as a coronation gone quiet. It should be cataloged as an ending, the night a manufactured rivalry collapsed under pressure. The night a team with a plan pulled back a curtain and let the light hit the stage. It wasn't cruelty, it was clarity. The Storm did what great teams do. They tested the idea, not the image. And the idea failed. The reaction arrived the way it always does. Explanations. She's working back to full rhythm. She's still adjusting. She'll read those doubles next time. Maybe. She's talented enough to learn, but Clark never got the cushion of maybe. From her first possession, she was the problem to solve, the name circled on the whiteboard, the player opponents could make a statement against. Caitlyn Clark treatment became a phrase for a reason, and she answered it with a rookie year that changed more than a season. It changed how women's basketball is watched, scheduled, sold. Seattle's film will become Dallas's homework. Blitzes from the hash. Early digs. Switch late, not early. Stay physical without bailing her out. Make the second pass. Make it again. Close out hard to the comfort spots. Then rebound. The game plan looked simple because it was executed perfectly. And in those conditions, Paige didn't bend. She broke. 11 points, 2 rebounds, 0 assists, a line that reads like a warning label. This is where the difference between hype and history shows its teeth. Hype is a projection, smooth, efficient, elegant. History is an answer, delivered under duress. Clark's answer has been the same since day one. She takes the hit and still turns the corner. She gets blitzed and turns it into an open 3. 1 pass away. She carries the weight and refuses to let it crush what the game can be. That's not a marketing plan. That's greatness you can measure by the noise in the building and the schedules reshaped around it. The league cannot fabricate that. You don't anoint a face because a box score looks clean for 6 weeks. You don't replace a generational. Draw by copy-pasting a narrative onto someone who isn't carrying the same load. Fans can tell the difference. They saw it in Seattle. They saw a defense treat Bueckers like the star she was said to be, and expose how far she still has to go to wear that treatment nightly. None of this says Paige Bueckers can't grow. It says the story that crowned her is out of runway. It says, the standard remains what it has always been. Endure the pressure, invite the trap, beat the scheme anyway. Clark's done it while taking more punishment than anyone should. Seattle handed Paige her first real taste, and the response was unmistakable. The mask slipped. The charade ended. And the conversation snapped back to where it belonged. So now, the question isn't about the next Caitlyn Clark. There isn't one. There's Clark. Then there's the climb. What did you see in Seattle? Blueprint or blip? Does that game end the Paige's savior talk, or is it the film that forges her next step? Drop your take below. Like the video, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss what's next.